Good day, my Blue Cartel. Hope everyone is doing good. If not, I pray that God guide you, whatever you're going through, whatever you're dealing with. May He be your helper, help you through it, and give you a very successful week and a very successful fight in whatever fight you fight in. In this episode, I'm going to be talking about the Leeds and Chelsea game. I mean, it looks very easy for Chelsea, but it's not, because Enzo Maresca is one coach who struggles against Leeds United. And in his Leicester days, he met Leeds twice and he lost both of them. So he always, face these kind of challenges when he meets Leeds United. And the same happens to the Leeds manager as well. When he used to be the coach for, I think it's Norwich or something like that, ever since 2019 to 2021, he never won a game against Chelsea. So he's also had, a very rough time with Chelsea. So in this game, I think it's time for both managers to redeem themselves. And so Daniel Farke will definitely come into the game with a very tactical plan, because he's a very, I would say, he's also one of them tacticians. I would say he's also one of them tacticians. It's just he's a low budget tactician at this point. So yeah, Enzo Maresca is up there now, with the experience, with the players he's coaching, and with the team he's coaching, because Chelsea is a pressure club. It's a club that you need to just get in, and then the moment you get appointed as a coach, you need to just get going. You don't, like, there is no time for you to waste. There is no time for no try and error. And Chelsea is just that club that the fans are always hungry for more. But at the end of the day, Leeds is one hell of a club that can give you a tough time as well. That's the reason why the betting sites are all, like, it's giving Chelsea the 1.7 and also. You should know it's not that easy of a game for you to think it's just a walk in the park for Chelsea. A lot of people are tipping Leeds to be that kind of people, but they also have a very, I would say, a mastermind, a very good tactician behind the team as well. And in this episode, I'm going to also talk about their tactics. As I've always said here on my platform, that Chelsea build up with a 3-2-5 build up. Like that's how we build up, 3-2-5. And in the 3-2-5, we kind of push Gusto always high. But this happens most often when we play with the big boys. Yeah, when we play with the young team, not the small boys. Let me put it that way. Whenever we play with the small boys, the teams like Leeds, Burnley, this that. That's when you see Tosin in the games. And in this game, I'm tipping Tosin and maybe Josh Echampong to start for us. But yeah, I'm not that sure of it. But yeah, we may see both of them. And I'll get into the tactics of Leeds United. Leeds do have a manager, Daniel Farke, who has got, like, he's a very dynamic coach. He has got a lot of build ups, a lot of tactics on his fingertips, and so he decides whatever to play with. And whenever he's playing against the big boys, the likes of Arsenal and the rest, he plays the 4-3-3 formation, the flat 4-3-3 formation. And in this situation, or in this case, he built up with a 4-2-3-1. That's how he built up. He built up in the 4-2-3-1. And in the 4-2-3-1, as you can see on the screen, with the 4-2-3-1, you do have his full backs not overlapping, but they just push a little bit higher up the field. And he does this in a situation where, in case you take the ball, this is just to build up, but in case you force him to play nonsense and then get the ball from his players, and then he sit deep. He always sit deep whenever it goes wrong against the big boys. And in that situation, this is what has led to what you see on your screen now. The purple side of the field is where Leeds dominate. They dominate on this very side of the field. So they just sit deep, wait for you to also play nonsense or make a mistake, and then they just blast the ball straight to their left winger. It happens. There are lots of teams that build up on a certain side of the field. Chelsea, whenever they meet the small boys, they have this way of building up. And I think in Chelsea versus the Burnley game, we saw a very similar thing. I will get there. Today, I'm not going to talk much about the Chelsea side of things, because I've always been talking about how things are going to be. I will just add up a certain stories and then we'll get going. But with the Leeds sides, whenever they build up in the 4-2-3-1, they do this against the big boys often in order to, get back to their low block as early as they can in case it goes wrong. So I'm expecting this from Daniel Farke tomorrow as well. And he also have this way of building up. He's sometimes it's very similar to the 3-2-5 build up, but he build up in the 3-4-3 build up as well. That's why I said he's a very dynamic coach. He's a coach that can confuse you in a blink of an eye. And that is why our Enzo Maresca in Leicester City couldn't beat Daniel Farke, not even a single time, whenever they met. That should tell you how tactical and how genius Daniel Farke is. He's not just a mere manager, he's just on a low budget, I would say, and that's the reason why it seems he's struggling. But it's not that he's that poor of a manager, and so we should just overlook things and nah. Then we may feel the heat from Daniel Farke because he's a good manager. He's a very, very good manager. We shouldn't just underrate him, I would say. And Enzo Maresca knows this because Enzo Maresca is one of the people that beat me today, tomorrow, I'm coming prepared. And so losing twice to Daniel Farke, I think he's well prepared enough to beat Daniel Farke this very time. And it'll be his first time beating Daniel Farke. So I'm hoping for a very good match from Enzo Maresca to Daniel Farke as well. And as I said earlier on, our game against Burnley, I think Enzo Maresca's problem lately has been the teams that play the low block. I told you earlier on that, in our previous videos, that whenever teams are defending, they do have the three defensive lines. That's the high defensive line, the mid, the mid, and then the low defensive lines, right? So whenever we meet a team that plays in the low defensive lines, which is the low block teams, we always try to find ways and string some one or two passes together and then find a goal. And it happened against Burnley. As I was saying, some teams build up in these situations on a certain side of the field. And when we met Burnley, I think it was on the 88th minute, the Enzo Fernandez goal. We saw Gusto give back a pass to Sanchez back to Gusto to Pedro Neto to Magui, and Magui held up the ball to Enzo Fernandez and then straight into the net. So it's something that I think is an antidote to the low block poison for Enzo Maresca. I'm yet to see more of this because it doesn't happen often, so I'm yet to see more. But this is one of the solutions that I think Enzo Maresca has come up with. And so yeah, it's a very good thing. It's a very I would say a good solution to these kind of tactics, these low blocks and all. And in this situation, because we are going to have a team that is going to sit deep and hit us on a counter, because that's how I see, and that's how things are going to be. Definitely, they are just going to give us the ball, as I said earlier on the map. They are going to give us the ball, play whatever you want. But whenever they get the ball, or when they try to build up and it doesn't go as planned, yes, then you have the ball. But when they get the ball and they are playing what they want to play, then you will also have to set up right, because they hit you on a counter. The only person to save you at this point is Robert Sanchez, because he's the only person that can. He's our Jesus right now. He's our savior right now. Whenever the going gets tough, it's Robert Sanchez who steps up and then save the Chelsea team. Let alone the the individual brilliance of some players. Robert Sanchez has been very good. He stood out in situations where we need him, and so I think in this very game, Robert Sanchez will play a very big role in it. And he may be my man of the match. But hey, I don't know yet. I'm just saying he may be, because definitely they are going to hit us on counters, like countless counters. Let's prepare for that. And we are going to see the likes of Andre Santos, definitely, because Enzo Maresca made mention of it in his press conference that we are not going to see Reece James. We may not see Reece James. I don't know if it's 100% confirmed, but he said it. And Fabrizio also reposted it as well, that we may not see Reece James because he's trying to manage Reece James and all. So in that situation, definitely Palmer may start, or Palmer may, come from the bench as well. It could be. But we are not seeing Caicedo, we are not seeing Reece James. In that case, then we are seeing Andre Santos. Then we are seeing Malo Gusto. And so the defensive lines, that's why I said earlier on, I'm expecting Tosin in the champion or Tosin and Chaloba, because Chaloba has also been pivotal in our build up lately. So that's what I'm expecting from Enzo Maresca's side today. And as I said earlier on, please don't forget to open the Chelsea website and then predict the Chelsea versus Leeds game in order to win a signed JC. It's a signed JC straight from Chelsea Stamford Bridge, and so I urge you guys to do so and then get going.